Hey, what's up guys, it's Bravo. Today I'm talking about the brand new Halo 4 multiplayer hands-on video from GameInformer. It is actually 18 minutes long of Halo 4 discussion from people who have actually played the most current build of the game. I'm going to go ahead and summarize and analyze these points today. Now what you're watching right now is one of my first anniversary gameplays. I've got some good top control and sniping during the game, so it's just something for you to watch in the background. So first of all, we're going to get right into it. The actual feel of the combat apparently feels very similar to Halo, and we all play Halo because we like the feel, and obviously this is a very good thing. Also, the game looks better. It still looks like Halo multiplayer, but it looks better, so visually more pleasing. You've seen details on the Spartans already look so great, so really excited to see that as well. The man cannons are confirmed, and we've seen in multiplayer that there's also a little bit of vertical elevators, so maybe perhaps not so much the Halo 1, 2, 3, and even Reach teleporter system, but maybe a few more man cannons. This could either speed up or slow down the gameplay, both teleporters and man cannons. So depends on how they're implemented, but I'm looking forward to seeing some crazy stuff there. There's also familiar game modes, obviously. We have Rumble Pit. They haven't confirmed these, but we can really assume that Rumble Pit, Team Slayer, Capture the Flag, etc. are going to be included. However, there has not been anything about Reach's game types like Headhunter or the other new ones. So maybe some new game types added there. We definitely know that Regicide will be added. It's a new game type with a new scoring mechanism. So the kill leader has a bounty that you gain if you kill them. So it's kind of like Juggernaut. You want to go ahead and kill that top guy. Also, Spartan points, as you guys know, is the currency system that was announced quite a while ago during the first GameInformer leak. So they said in this video that you will improve even if you suck. However, there's nothing about the 1 through 50 leveling system. So even if you suck, to me that means that it's really experience for everyone. They want people who are playing Halo to enjoy it and progress through the game. And to be honest, that's great for Halo and Halo overall multiplayer, but we really want to see that 1 through 50 style leveling system. I know a lot of people miss that. There's been a lot of talk recently about how we need that to kind of create a level, if you will, just a place to compare to people in the neighborhood. Everyone's like, oh, this kid's a level 50, that's great. And even though that doesn't really mean anything, it just kind of creates this discussion around the game. Everyone wants that level 50. I want to see that back. So you will get new stuff through Spartan points. So not just aesthetics like armor and new helmets and armor effects, but actual improvements and customizable loadouts. So you will be able to get still armor, but some of you guys might know the customizable loadouts, that'll be, I don't want to use the word Call of Duty, but that will be Call of Duty-like in that you will have customizable loadouts with each gun. So not preset loadouts, but you're actually choosing the loadouts yourself. So for example, we talked about last night on the Podtacular podcast that maybe one guy will choose BR and one guy will choose DMR on the start. And that being said, you will not be starting with power weapons in your loadout. So obviously, depending on the map and game type, you'll only be allowed to start with a certain amount of primary weapons when you start. So no snipers and no rockets off the start, which obviously can be expected. So now Sprint is available at all times. This is something I don't know how I feel about. GameInformer, they said that they think a lot of people like Sprint and they got used to it and they want to keep it. So 343 has apparently catered to that interest. Now personally, I'm not a fan of Sprint at all. When I saw it in the first Halo 4 first look, I was a little bit disappointed. But if they want to keep it in the game to keep that Reach audience carrying over, I totally understand. So now you will have one loadout along with Sprint. So everyone's starting with Sprint here as far as we know. Perhaps in different game types they'll allow no Sprint starts or maybe Sprint as a power-up, but it sounds like you'll always have it, and you can also have another loadout you can have fun with, perhaps jetpack or something of that like. So also along with that is Forerunner Vision. It can be faked out, we hear. So Forerunner Vision, for those of you who don't know, that it's a way to see enemies and use Spartan Vision, so you can actually see perhaps through a wall or see through a certain part of the map that will give you some intel. So it can be faked out, meaning you can use holograms or different radar type jammers perhaps to fake it out, and it'll also be limited in scale and power. Now this is very important. It won't be super powerful, but it will be useful. So perhaps it will only be a part of your screen, not your entire viewing area on your heads-up display, or maybe you can only see through a certain level of walls or certain types of areas on the map. So this could be really interesting because it could even fit in competitive play. Imagine if a player is really good with Forerunner Vision, he knows exactly where to use it on the map, and you only have maybe 5 seconds to use it or even less time. It could be interesting. I'm going to give the 343 the benefit of the doubt, as I'm going to do through most of this video. I'm very optimistic about the game. I'm sure you guys can tell. So Forerunner Vision might be able to fit in competitive play and might work very well in non-MLG play. Also, there is no delay on respawn according to GameInformer in some game modes. So as you know, X to respawn is confirmed. So Team Slayer, perhaps Rumble Pit, games like that, and also of course Regicide. Everyone is really hoping that you can turn this off though in some game types. For example, Capture the Flag, they can't have it at all because instant spawning Capture the Flag, as we all know from the past, gets absolutely insane. If you played it in Halo 1, it's impossible to cap a flag. So I'm very interested to see how that plays out. The no delay on respawn could be play out very well, or it could be a little bit harder. Next, so even if you know the map inside and out, you will not be rewarded possibly due to weapon drops. Weapon drops is another hot topic that people are talking about. What does it mean for social play? What does it mean for competitive play? But apparently GameInformer says they're trying to even the playing field with these weapon drops. Obviously, that's not a term we like to hear. The skill gap in Halo is brought about because there are players who are very talented, very skilled, and they play and study the map oftentimes for years. So they know every nook and cranny, they know special grenades, they know exactly what the best routes are. So you kind of create this knowledge base and become a great Halo player, and then you might no longer be rewarded for that. So these weapon drops, still we're waiting for details on this. I'm hoping that it's perhaps a varied system in that there are only maybe 6 places where weapons could respawn, and you have to know the best place to be to maybe get all of them. You have to cut your losses kind of like that. That could be very interesting. We don't know if it's going to be random timing, random weapons, or random locations. It might be all of them, but I definitely have heard the word random thrown around along with this term weapon drops a lot, so we're waiting for more details on that. Also, the games will be easier to handle quitters, so people can now join mid-match. Once again, we don't know how often or when or how even these players will be added. Is it going to be, you know, this true skill that lets the players in because they're at your skill level? Will it be the first person in? We don't know yet. I think it's great that 343 wants to handle quitters because quitters do ruin the game all the time. It's very hard to play Reach. I think that also goes back to the leveling system, however, so that might be able to be remedied by the leveling system. But I'm glad 343 is trying to take a stab at quitters. Definitely needs to be done, so props to them. It's not going to be easy, but looking forward to seeing how they do that. So Wraparound is a map with multi-level vertical fighting with man cannons, big open center space, and the outer edges for smaller battles. You saw that map already in the first look, so a little bit more details on that. Now Warhouse is a map with twisty corridors and short-range combat. We don't know about the sight lines in this video just yet, so we'll have to wait on that. Infinity mode, we get a little bit more information about this. Spartan forwards are going to be training with each other on a 3-kilometer ship, which makes sense of why we play multiplayer. So imagine every game you play in multiplayer is just this battle between Spartan forwards who are training for this, you know, as part of an army. So that's kind of cool. It gives a little more story and insight there. Spartan forwards are going to be wearing lighter armor. They're going to be actual UNSC soldiers who have been in battle. So if you care about the story at all, that's also relevant. Now, Spartan Ops, something I'm super excited about, is set up like a TV season. It's a story following a group of Spartans who play distinct levels of challenges every week. And you get a new piece of the story. I hope interesting discussion will formulate from this, and also Spartan Ops will be great for keeping people in the game. It's going to be great for, you know, theories about what's going to happen, and also content creation. I can't wait to stream the game. You know, also make videos about the best way to handle this week's Spartan Ops. It's going to be really great. Can't wait for it. David Ellis is working on it. Love the guy. He's awesome. I told him I'm very excited because it's a great evolution of weekly challenges, meaning that it's just a cool weekly thing, and he told me it's so much more than that. So really looking forward to that. So Spartan points will also be gained through all modes. As you guys know, Spartan points is the new currency system, and campaign will obviously have still have co-op. That was expected. Firefight will not return, but Spartan Ops may include firefight-like play. Not a big deal to me. Firefight's great, but Spartan Ops seems like it's so much more, so not worried about that. So I agree with the guys at GameInformer. You know, having a weekly team that you play Spartan Ops with could be really cool. You know, you have your 4 buddies from home, and you always play Spartan Ops with them. You know, maybe even have leaderboards and stats for Spartan Ops. That could be really cool. This experience is only seen really in like massive multiplayer online games where you have this weekly, really updated thing. So really excited about that. Also, Forge is in. They're not talking about it yet. We've seen some of the building materials, and obviously it's very important to the competitive community. However, I want to use you know, the out-of-the-box maps and the DLC maps as much as possible. Apparently, theater is not confirmed, but we can expect it. They didn't say anything about being able to watch theater with your friends, of course. I really want to see something like that. You know, they want Halo to no longer be on the shelf after you play the campaign. So we want the best multiplayer experience possible. They want to get multiplayer users sticking around. So I think this is great for, you know, everyone, especially the competitive community, because I want to see the community grow. And I think 343 realizes how important it is to grab the Halo audience and just keep them interested. So throughout the entire interview, Matt Miller from GameInformer kept using the word competitive. I don't know if this is just the word he uses for all multiplayer matchmaking, but I like to hope that 343 was also using the word when he was there, and that the game will be incredibly competitive. I don't know, you know, Halo 4, in the first look, we heard that the maps are being built for competition, that they're not just pulled from the campaign and ported into multiplayer, that they're made with the competitive experience in mind. So whether that word means competitive or it just means matchmaking, we have yet to see. Optimistic about that once again. So also quickly, I want to review the Dutch gaming magazine Power Unlimited today released an article with some more comments. It's very relevant today, so I want to go over those very quickly. The only multiplayer news was this: the matchmaking area of Infinity will be called War Games. So after you go, instead of campaign, you'll click on Infinity in the menu. Next, you'll be able to choose from War Games, and if you will, they're going to be War Games because they're training. Everything's starting to make sense. So also now listen to this: the BR is being described as a single shot and the DMR as a burst. The author of this article wrote that that's probably a mistake and it should be the other way around. I'm going to go ahead and bet that as well. DMR is still going to be a single shot. BR is going to be a burst as always. Now, after saying that he didn't like Reach, which I think a lot of us can say, Reach's experience compared to the other Halos just hasn't been there. The author states that it feels effing amazing. So, to be honest, with all the new Halos, they've always felt effing amazing. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. I believe it's going to feel amazing in the beginning. I want to see the longevity. I want to see this game last for years. Perks are also now called modifications. So an example is given here that someone could carry a few more grenades. And I say, hell yeah, because more grenades means more fun, more nade tricks, more explosions. Let's do it. Next is the plasma rifle has been replaced with something that could possibly be called the Covenant Assault Rifle. It apparently shoots a quote-unquote storm of blue balls. And the author says that it is incredibly awesome. So this author is very enthusiastic about everything in Halo 4. So this indeed does sound like the plasma repeater, as was said already, but maybe it's even cooler. So possibly a weapon that could fit well into competitive and obviously multiplayer play. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. As more Halo 4 details surface, I will be making videos and also analyzing them. So please subscribe and also feel free to comment below on what you think about all these announcements. I covered a lot today, but I'm going to go ahead and read all your comments, and it's great to provide people with another forum for discussion on Halo 4. I want to know what you guys specifically think about these multiplayer and competitive aspects. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace.